Gunline. We got a fire mission coming down, y'all. I'm your host, Lopez, and you're listening to the On the Gunline podcast, where, as always, we just chop it up and shoot it up like we did out in the field, in between them trails, into that net, or inside that track. So welcome to this new episode. As you can see, I got another guest today, friend of the podcast, been on here multiple times. He was a 13 Delta / whatever's a Juliet now, fucking master gunner in the FDC motherfucking field. So welcome, Frank Filice. How you doing today, Frank?
Doing great,
dude. I'm glad to hear that, brother. It's been stormy out here in Texas, thank God, because
we need all the rains.
Yes, sir. Yes, we do. And we don't need the mosquitoes that come along with them. I'm fucking sick of those bastards, bro.
There was a 13-acre lake here in our little subdivision, whatever you call it.
Mm-hmm.
That thing is gone. They're mowing that thing now. Hopefully it fills it back up.
Bro, I'm hoping that this rain helps out, because right up the road from where I live is Canyon Lake. And Canyon Lake was gorgeous, bro. Like beautiful sandy fucking bottom lake. And due to the drought that we've been experiencing, that shit's dropped about 18 feet, bro. And it's fucking just like, I mean, they found a cave that was, underwater all this time and shit. So I'm really hoping that we get more rain over the fucking winter time, and hopefully it gets here soon, because there's nothing spookier than not having, green grass and fucking just, beautiful foliage and nowhere to go fucking tube on in Texas. Tubing is big out here in Texas. So speaking about spookiness, we are going to discuss some things today, continuing the trend that we had last week with scary stories and shit like that, or just, paranormal type things. And you were telling me that out in Downey, where you're from, which is a suburb of LA, it's just outside. I don't know why they call it a suburb. It's just another neighborhood pretty much in LA. Was there a mental institution there?
Yeah, the Hollydale insane asylum.
No shit.
Yeah.
Dude, I wish I would have known about that, back in the day, because I would have loved to have gone check that shit out, man. Tell me about that place.
It's pretty famous, and I knew about it growing up, and just never had the opportunity to go until I was in high school when my friends started driving and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was so Hollydale Insane Asylum. So the story is, I guess, it was a hospital, insane asylum for people with polio and TB. And I guess in the 50s, somewhere 52, 53, right, everybody died. And it's been shut down and just abandoned since that point.
Oh, shit.
And it's like in prime real estate. And so it doesn't make sense that this place, like right next to St. Pius X, which is St. Pius X, all girls Catholic school, and God bless them girls, man. Woo, that was a good place to go. Guaranteed. I went to Warren High in Downey, and the worst freaks at our school didn't compare to them Catholic girls' school. When they got free, that's another story. But
I know what you're saying, baby. Trust me, I had a Catholic church school.
Those weren't haunted stories; those were good stories.
Bro, right up the street from where I lived on 87th and Broadway, 87th Place and Broadway, and there's a church between Main and Broadway. It's right on Main and 87th. It's called Mother of Sorrows Church, and this church is also a Catholic school. Man, you want to talk about some freaks? Ooh-wee, hey. I'm just saying, I was a young man, and they were some young women that they were some freaky deaky ass women. Ooh-wee. God, I love them Catholic schoolgirls when I was a kid. Now I'm a grown motherfucking man now, right?
Oh, yeah.
So all right,
high school.
Talk to me about the insane asylum. So how long has it been closed down?
Since everybody died. So, and then, like I said, it doesn't make sense. It's like in prime real estate next to that all girls Catholic school in the middle of Downey, basically.
Yeah.
And like, why nobody has taken it over or bulldozed it? It doesn't make sense. And so this place has like been famous. Like, you could look at YouTube videos, and thousands of people have gone in this place and had their own experiences and wrote blogs about it. And so I have had a couple different experiences. So it's like the hospital, and then there's this mansion that the caretakers or whatever hospital workers kind of stayed in. I don't really know the full story about the mansion, but it's right next to the hospital. And so first I learned about this place back and the thing is, if you knock on the door at nighttime, basically what happens is like you get these crazy flashes through the windows. And like this place doesn't have electricity or whatever, right? It's been abandoned since the 50s. Like, and I don't know if they do it to keep people out or whatever it is, but so we didn't believe it, like I didn't believe in these things. And so me and my buddy went there one time, and we go, and it's like this mansion looks like, like the door, old school door, it's like just creepy as hell, right?
Right.
Kind of overgrown bushes and everything. But as soon as you knock, step back, and then boom, 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 lights flash so fast through all the windows. Like, I mean, it's not like a light switch is flipping, right? Just like, it's like a strobe light, boom, 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 like everywhere. So my friend that was driving, he took off, I knocked, and then that happened, and then he took off. Like, he's a Mexican dude.
That motherfucker booked it.
Yeah, so he booked it, right? And he had I forget the year, but it was a green Dodge Duster with gold rims. Just anyways, that was a cool car. Anyway, but and I'm running right after him, but and I was pretty fast, but he had already got in the car and was pulling away, and I dove through the window. like Deuce of Hazard,
God
right?
damn, yeah.
He's gonna basically leave my ass there, right?
Right.
So then we go and tell our friends about it, and we go to this party, and it was actually a Halloween party, and they were like, man, the mansion is nothing unless you can get inside, but I don't think you can get inside, but you got to go into the actual hospital. And the hospital, it's surrounded by like those like fences, those fences panels that like construction site.
Right.
So it's like 6-foot fences. So
like a chain link fence, or
chain link, with the signs that don't trespassing.
Right.
But back then in 98, 99, when we went, when I was going there or went there, there's signs that say, if you go in here, don't call for help. Don't call for help. The police are not going to go in there.
What the fuck, bro?
And so anyways, so all these stories, and we heard about this at a party just to go in there. And so me and my friends go. Well, first we went back to the mansion, and we took my white boyfriend. I had one, man, I grew up in California, so I had like one white friend, like surfer dude.
Right.
He grew up like across the street from my house. All my other friends were Mexican. It's weird, This is how it is in Los Angeles. Or
It
is.
is.
The Mexican Beverly Hills, Downey.
Yeah, for real, dude.
So he was my one white friend, and he was kind of crazy, and he got drunk, and he went, motherfucker knocked and started pissing on the door.
What the fuck?
And the shit's is flashing. We back off, and he's just standing there pissing, like not even realizing that the lights are just flashing.
Are going off.
Yeah, he's drunk as can be. Anyway, so we roll out of there. Anyway, another time we go back, we finally go into the hospital, and it's a big complex, right? Like pretty big.
Yeah,
lots of rooms. And so the when we hopped over the fence, we entered this area where it was kind of looked like barracks, right? And one part of it looked, for real, there were still beds in there, and I'll explain that to you.
Yeah.
So it looks like barracks, right? So like a door, and then like maybe 2 windows on each side of the door, right?
Right.
And so you got this. We went in through a window because the door is obviously chained up, locked up, whatever. So we went through the window, and we get in there, and there's nothing in there except for one chair. And it's like an old school, 1980s school chair, right?
Yeah.
The metal legs, and then, like the plastic.
Right.
Back, one piece, right?
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep. I sure
So
do.
it was in the corner, right? It was in the corner. So we just mosey on and we walk into the next spot, which it's a wide open but perfect, almost identical rooms here, but wide. It was only, but it was separated by just whatever was holding up the roof, so just a kind of like that wall right there, right?
Yeah.
But big opening, right? So big opening, just like a support wall right there, right?
Right.
So
Right.
go into the next room, and it's the same thing. And there's like a file cabinet and a few other things, but I don't remember because as soon as we were like halfway into that room,
Yeah.
that chair from the other room slid across the motherfucking floor and just scraped the concrete floor.
Fuck.
Nobody's in there. Nobody's in there. That fucking chair moved to the middle of the floor, the middle of the room.
What's the name of this place again?
It's Hollydale Insane Asylum in Downey.
Hollydale. Okay, because I've seen some.
I sent you a link. You can just look at, and you can Google that and it'll pop up YouTube videos. I mean, this place, they have a video game about this place. Is that,
I'm
yeah,
looking it up right here, and it's Rancho Los
escaping
Amigos
Hollydale something.
Hospital.
Yeah,
Is it?
Hollydale Insane Asylum in Downey.
Oh, okay, so it's not the Rancho Los Amigos, right?
Yeah, it's part of that hospital. That's the new hospital
Oh.
is Rancho Los Amigos. So they moved down like they closed this place when everybody died and they built a new place. Like they just left this place.
Oh shit, bro!
Yeah.
I'm looking at some of these pictures. I'm about to share it on here.
Yeah, share it. Everybody needs to follow. Like, just do a Google search of Downey, Hollydale, Insane Asylum, Rancho Los Amigos, because there was a hospital for, like I said, TB and polio, and that was serious stuff back there.
Right.
Everybody died like in the same time from polio, I guess is what the story is.
Fuck, dude.
What I can find out, doing my own research and what other people have told me about the place, right? And in the 50s, this happened, right? And this place has been abandoned since.
Fuck,
and I
dude.
just recently read a thing that there was a big fire there. So
Yeah, I was looking at that just now
even
too.
dangerous, but people are still going in there. And all kinds of crazy things go in there, like sacrifices. You see, like what is it? The star with the what is it? The devil.
The pentagram.
Pentagram, yeah. People go in there, crazy, people squatting, all kinds of, there's wild animals in there, raccoons, there's all kinds of crazy shit in there.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we get into the next room, much like the first room, there's not much in there. But when we get to the middle of that room, that chair just slid across to the middle of the floor and just right dead center of the middle and stopped. And we went over there and looked at it. We're like, how in the fuck, like there's no string or anybody. Like maybe they're trying to keep people out. They do tricks kind of like we thought at the mansion, like make things flash real fast.
Right.
So we're like, all right, what the fuck, So my friends are starting to get scared, right?
Right.
And yeah, so you see that picture. It kind of looks like that, the fifth picture down. Oh, wait, go back. It looks like those buildings right there. Go down one right
this
there.
one here.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that, like barracks, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so we're in the second room, right? Basically the same.
Yeah.
And so then at the end of the room, there's a hallway. Okay. And then the prior rooms had the door and then like two windows on each side of the door. Okay.
Yeah.
In the hallway, there's no windows. Okay. And the hallway leads to two other rooms on the other side, which are basically similar. But I want to go talk about this hallway first.
Yeah.
It's dead quiet and nothing's going on. But in that hallway, there's just like newspaper and magazines that are perfectly shredded.
Oh shit.
On the floor, right?
Yeah.
And so once all of us got into that hallway, nothing was happening. Once all of us got into the hallway, it was like 30-mile-an-hour winds, and those papers were just fluttering, and you could feel the wind on your legs, but not like on your face.
Fuck that, dude.
And so it's just making all this noise and like making all this noise of the paper fluttering, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we walked down the hall, walking on the paper. and the magazines, and it's like perfectly shredded paper. It's weird. Like, it's weird. Go to end, make a left into the 2 other rooms, which are like mirrors of the first 2 rooms.
Yeah.
And these are like the barracks. These
Okay.
are like the bunk beds. There's like sheets and like white underwear, as if they just pulled the bodies off the beds
No shit.
in that one room, in those next 2 rooms.
Right.
So once we leave the hallway,
Yeah.
the wind stopped, and the fluttering of the paper stopped.
Dude.
So now my friends are freaking out, and I'm not a scared person, so I don't get freaked out. I don't, I trust, like, I'm with my friends, and I trust, my hands. Like, if something gonna happen, we're gonna fight. All of us are gonna fight.
Right.
Because I've been in brawls with them guys, and I trusted them. And
Okay.
so, like, if something happens, we're gonna fight, and
Yeah, you guys got
we're
each
gonna
other's
handle it.
backs.
Yeah, and then, there's 4 or 5 of us. I can't remember. It's all from my party crew, right? These dudes from my party crew, and we always got in
Orale.
fights with other party crew. Anyway, it is what it is. And
Right, right.
so we go through the barracks, and there's not much happening other than it's weird that these, like, beds and white sheets and white underwear are there, like, just perfect, like, as if, like, they dragged somebody, like, one of the beds, like, the mattress is kind of like falling off, like if they dragged a body off of it.
Fuck that,
And
dude.
then so we get to the end of that second barracks, and then there's a door, a brown door
Yeah.
with a gold doorknob and a deadbolt, but it wasn't locked. I turned the doorknob and I wiggled it open, but on the door is like in blood. In blood, it's like enter and die. And
Oh,
I don't know
fuck
if
that.
I don't know if I don't know if some bum was in there or whatever, but
Yeah.
just to keep people out of there, or just not to be bothered or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
so I opened it and I turned around to my friends and I'm like, "Hey, you want to go in?" And they're like, "Fuck no!" And they went immediately out of the window, like through that window on the in the barracks room. They just
Yeah.
left. And then of course, I'm not scared, but I'm not going in there by myself.
Yeah,
Got nobody
exactly.
to help me fight or whatever. And so, yeah, that's the story of that place. And I wish I would have went back a couple more times, but there is, I mean, hundreds of stories and videos about this place.
Yeah.
It's crazy, crazy, crazy.
Yeah, I'm looking it up. I'm showing like on the screen for those that are watching on YouTube.
So
I'm showing like the hallways it's showing us here.
this place is creepy as can be. I think
God
the police
damn.
did some training in there, and maybe I read something about the military did some training in there, but other than that, it hasn't been used. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, it's fucking crazy, man. It's like I mean, Downey, like you said, it's prime real estate out there. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
because
I mean,
it's
like,
just outside of LA,
yeah.
and it's a nice neighborhood, at least from what I recall. So I
Yeah.
mean, that's fucking sick,
But like
bro.
the new Rancho Los Alamitos Hospital is like right off Imperial. Like,
Oh,
you
okay.
probably know where it's at.
Yep.
Imperial, maybe so what is that? Uh Firestone and Imperial.
No,
It's right
Firestone
up
and
there,
Pure,
right by
because
Apollo
they
Park, if you
those
know
run
where.
the same way.
Yeah.
It
Well, Paramount Boulevard, sorry.
Orale, okay.
Boulevard, and right by Apollo Park behind it, there that the new hospital, not new, but newer than this one, is
Word.
there.
That's
Because I
fucking
remember playing
crazy, man.
basketball at Apollo Park, and then people would be in wheelchairs. People with disabilities be kind of hanging out at the park or whatever. But
Right on.
yeah,
Dude, that's fucking crazy, man. I mean, that takes some balls to do that type of shit. I know personally I couldn't do that shit. Well, nah, when I was younger, I would be stupid enough to jump into go to places like that. Not by myself. I'm with you on that. I'm going with a couple of friends, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna be having some sticks and screwdrivers. So
hey,
so normally I think they usually have like a little notepad of topics you want to discuss and shit. Is that true for today?
oh shoot, we can talk about anything. Hey, I just text you a picture, so check your phone.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, hell to the no. Where the hell is that? That's cool. Is that you?
No, check that out. So I gotta get the original picture, but this is the one. Um, so the builder that built my neighbor's house, so we're cool with them. The daughter was the project manager. They used to live in here, and then the cousin or whatever built a house over here. So we
Okay.
all hang out and party together, right?
Right.
Anyway, so they snapped two pictures of the house
Okay.
while it was being built, and back there where it's being built, there was an old well, and supposedly the story is that
Oh,
whoever had
wait.
this big
Is that like,
property,
is that something on the background, like glowing?
yeah.
What
So they
the?
snapped two pictures. The first picture doesn't have that, and the second picture does. And so the story is, I guess the people that own this property,
Yeah.
they were losing it. They were losing, couldn't either to taxes or they were getting foreclosed or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So the motherfucker committed suicide. I don't know when it was, but he hung himself in the tree right there in that
Oh,
area.
shit. So
And
for those, I'm gonna show it real quick here. Um, there's that silhouette right there on the right side. I'm not showing the whole house, but that
body
yeah, you could definitely
like slumped
make a
over,
shape out of it. You know
like
what I mean?
it's hanging right, and
Yeah,
they're
that's a
doing
body, bro.
yeah. So they were doing construction still, and they were like just taking like progress updates, pictures for the homeowners, right? And there was
Yeah.
a well back there. There was a well back there, like an old well house and like brick, and they had a pretty badass door. Well, anyways, the project manager, the her husband is a
Mm-hmm.
firefighter. Anyways, he wanted to take the door and put it on his shop. Anyways, he took the door, and so weird shit started happening at just having that door around. He ended up getting rid of the door. But
Oh,
anyways,
dude.
the new owners, they were like, "Hey, no, bulldoze that old well house."
Yeah, for real.
And I guess like from talking to the girl that's the project manager for that builder,
Yeah.
uh, the workers, like the Mexican workers, weird shit was happening the whole time they were building that house.
Fuck
The whole
that,
time,
dude.
weird shit was happening, and so that's the story. That's the first house on the right hand when you enter the
Yeah,
subdivision, like the first one.
dude.
And we're like way here in the back, um, but
You,
yeah,
you know what's crazy, dude, is I've only been able to capture one thing ever on photograph. And I wish I still had it, but it kind of freaked me out because I was told if you keep pictures like that, that those entities tend to follow you, right? So
yeah,
this was when I was stationed at Fort Stewart, Georgia. I went to Savannah, and Savannah is supposed to be like the most haunted city, in the States. So I went there, and I've always been into ghost type shit, ghost tours, all that. So I love doing that type of shit now. And so took a ghost tour out there, and they took us to this one home that's out there like in the middle of the old Savannah area and shit whatnot. And apparently it used to house like some dude and some woman, and I think the woman ended up fucking running out the window and killing herself or whatnot. So I'm just snapping pictures, and this is back in '08. So the quality of the pictures weren't the greatest like they are nowadays, but I'm just snapping pictures like in hallways and everything. And then I took a picture of right there the window where the woman ran out and jumped and shit. I didn't get nothing about no woman jumping out the window or anything. But what I did get very clearly, dude, it looked like a kid dressed up like in some Tom Sawyer type fucking clothing. Like, he
mm,
was like just sitting down. Bro, I'm talking about this shit was freaky as fuck. I'm looking at him like, what the fuck is this, bro? And I showed it to my old lady, like, hey, do you see anything on here? And she's like, holy shit! Yeah, it's like an old. It looked like something out of the Little Rascals. Like
mm,
how he was dressed like something out of the Little Rascals,
yeah,
and he had a fucking little like a pipe looking thing, bro. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I carried it around for a while until somebody, and I was showing it off to people, and they were like, hey, you might want to get rid of that because it could fucking stick to you and follow you,
yeah,
which makes a lot of sense. Because when I was in Fort Stewart, bro, I don't know if I mentioned this in the last episode, but I had a full blown conversation with somebody one day. I think I did mention this. Outside of my bedroom, bro. And then my ashtray would move from one. This is back when I still smoked in the house. My ashtray was in one area, disappears, comes up in another area, bro. That's when I was like, yeah, I gotta get rid of this shit, man, because spooky shit like that happens a little bit too much, you know. And no matter how much I try not to believe, it still happens, bro. You know what's a trip, man? I remember when I was a kid, not even a kid, bro. I can imagine like 10 years back, watching The Exorcist would scare the fuck out of me. But for some reason, I just watched it maybe 1 or 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. I rewatched it again. And bro, it didn't seem scary anymore. I don't know if they edited it like to take out like the really scary, but first of all, the movie went by quicker than it usually used to. And there were scenes that I remember that were not in there anymore. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on here, dude? Like,
Mhm.
I don't know what's going on, but at the same time, I shouldn't be watching that shit because I could watch that shit with family and I'll still be scared at night.
Yeah. Another like so these things don't freak me out. I kind of just like, you know, don't really bother me.
Yeah.
Like one night I went, I was like, I gotta go to bed. I told my wife, and she was up like doing like folding laundry or whatever she was doing. She was gonna come back. She was finishing this movie, and I forget what it was. It's a real demonic movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm in the bed, and I just like just fell out, and then all of a sudden I heard a glass break, and so I'm like, hey, what was that? I thought like somebody threw a baseball through our glass. So I get up, kind of look around, and I didn't find anything. And so and this is in Oklahoma, Fort Sill. It is a
Okay.
brand new house, but you don't know what you're built on. You know what I
Right.
mean? The house is built in 2016 when we moved there.
Mm-hmm.
My last assignment, right? And um, so we're like, damn, maybe this is some Indian ground because it's a lot, it's Oklahoma,
Mm-hmm.
right? And um, so we don't know what we're on, but so like the glass breaks, and I get up, I look around, nothing's there, and I could just go back to bed. And my wife is pissed off, and she just comes back to bed. She's like, "What? You're not gonna make sure?" I'm like, "You're not gonna protect me?" I'm like, "Just come to bed." And I got a gun over here.
Right.
So if anything happens, I got a gun over here. You know what I mean? Why do I gotta be searching all over the house?
Right.
My gun's over here. I'm not afraid of anything. Just come to bed. And she came to bed, and she was mad. She stayed mad for a long time. But later we reached in the cabinet in the kitchen for like a bowl or whatever. And I was like, oh, that was sharp. And I reach in, and it was a glass had broke inside another bowl. It was just like it was a flower arrangement glass
Yeah.
with a vase
A vase.
inside a bowl that was up in the upper cabinet,
What the
and
fuck?
it just broke out of nowhere.
Dude.
And then my wife kind of stopped watching the demonic movies, like embodying it.
You know,
She's
it
real, she's Mexican, so she's real,
oh
she believes
yeah, I
she
feel you.
believes in,
It's
you
but
know,
to just a caveat on that, damn, bringing out the inner first horn, and but just to check this out, like I think there's something to that. Porque I used to like to watch like fucking um like those fucking was like I forget what channel it was on, but I watched like the ghost hunters and type of shit like that,
yeah,
and a lot of the times I watch it just to scare myself out, to freak myself out, you know what I mean? And
yeah,
but it trips me out that when I stopped watching that, a lot of the shit stopped happening now as well. Now,
yeah,
is it a mind game that maybe I'm causing it? I don't know.
placebo, yeah, yeah,
But at the same time, you never know, man. I mean, I'll tell you what will never enter my house is gonna be a Ouija board. Ever. Ever, ever.
yeah.
Fuck that, bro. I
Yeah,
remember
I don't mess with that. Too many like kind of stories with that, but
hmm I'm with you on that one, man.
or
Fuck
go to Louisiana and get like them voodoo dolls or anything. I think people in touch with spirits can,
yeah.
even good and bad. Like my mother-in-law, she's 85. She's religious, but she don't go to church. But man, she'll
hmm
light some candles and stuff. And like her whole family, other than my wife,
Yeah.
like her sisters and her sisters' kids, they
Yeah.
won't go to grandma's house. They won't go
Oh no
because stuff
shit.
that's happened there. But yeah, I mean, the crazy thing that she told me is like a frame in the hallway. Nobody was in there, but a frame in the hallway got like turned sideways, and noise happened, and they
Yeah.
all came to the hallway, and then her grandson was like 2 or barely talking,
Yeah.
and um and they're like, "Hey, Isaac, did you see anything?" He's like, "Oh yeah, sometimes my friend Toby, he visits me."
Fuck that, dude.
and and so like, but other things happen there, like my mother-in-law, she'll tell me all kinds of things, like she'll be laying there and she gets like the sleep paralysis, but it's like only on her legs, and like
Mm.
it feels like somebody's pulling her down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've always hated
But
sleep
she'll be lighting them
paralysis.
candles. She'll start lighting candles and make everything good.
Dude,
So
that sleep paralysis always freaks me out because it's like I see everything that's going on around me, but I can't fucking move.
yeah,
And
your heart just be like,
yeah, dude. And it's like, you're trying to move, and I'm yelling like, "Ah!" It fucking sucks, dude. All right, y'all. We got about 10 minutes left because
yeah,
Zoom is a fucking bitch. Plus, I gotta go
yeah.
finish dinner. But dude, let's go ahead and wrap this shit up here for the next couple of minutes, man. Let's talk about what's going on in the world right now.
Oh man,
Um
that's a whole lot. That year opened up some worms, man.
what's on your mind out there? Or not even that. I mean, what it's I'll open it to you, Frank. What you want to talk about, brother?
I'm not. Maybe we should schedule this for another time. But I'm not real religious, but it seems to be like the Bible story is about to play out.
For real,
I
Armageddon
had
up
a
in this
friend.
bitch.
I got a work friend. He's real religious, and he's like, "Man, we already see the 4 horrors. There's a couple ways this can go, and this is going to be the calendar. If they come to peace right now,
Mm-hmm.
it'll be the 7 years, and then the devil's going to
Right.
display himself, and then that huge war in Israel is going to happen." And he talked about Persia, so Iran and Persia is going to link up with people from the north, which a Magog or whatever
Mm-hmm.
they believe is Russia, and Russia is friends with Iran, and army and units are going to march south on the Euphrates, and you're like, how is that going to happen, right? It's a river.
Mm-hmm.
And well, Turkey just recently built a dam, and so if they dam it,
Mm-hmm.
the desert, that thing will dry out real quick, and they can march tanks along the Euphrates.
No shit,
And
dude.
so, like, things are kind of playing out. And I don't go to church all the time. I'm not super religious, but
Right.
man, this could be
This could be it, bro. I mean,
yeah,
or this could be another Y2K. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
or yeah. And but things are happening. You know, we're already having plague. We're already seeing the 4 horses
Yeah.
display. Where all those things are playing out, kind of,
Yeah,
and
there's a lot of people that say, like, that the end of times that we're living them now,
yeah,
because they were foretold in Revelation.
yeah. And
And
Revelations, it's gonna happen in Israel, and if you either bless Israel or you go against it, and it's
yeah,
weird, like Abraham's sons
right.
Ishmael and Isaac. And Isaac was the son and married in wedlock, and his descendants are the Jewish people, right? Jacob,
I don't know, bro. When it comes to that shit, I really
named
don't
named
know.
named Israel, right? And then there was Ishmael, who was married, born out of wedlock, and they
Mhm.
said, "These are people that are crazy as a horse," right?
Mm.
And and uh, what my friends tell me, I believe, is these like jihadists, people that willing to kill out of nothing, like, and it's weird, like, there's in the Bible it says the eagle will protect Israel.
Hmm.
Former
Okay.
eagle was Rome, right?
Okay.
Now the eagle, our symbol, the eagle.
Right.
Crazy. It was like the eagle was with the woman Israel
Right.
until no more, until the eagle was no more. Rome fell based off of corrupt politicians, really, basically what
Hmm.
happened to Rome. They have a house and a senate. We have a house and a senate. We got some crazy shit going on in
Yeah, we do.
politics. And so
Yes, we do.
I don't know, man. I would really like to. I'm not real religious, so I don't
Right.
know. I just know pieces of things,
Right.
but it seems like things are playing out. You know?
I mean, I don't know, honestly, because I've been hearing this shit forever about the end of the world and all this shit. Honestly, I was just thinking about it earlier today, and this is gonna sound pretty fucking retarded to probably you and everybody else, but I was just thinking, all right, didn't the Israelis do to the Palestinians what Russia is doing to Ukraine right now? You know, basically saying, this is ours now, motherfucker. Bye. And we were okay with Israel doing that to the Palestinians, separate them into different states. But we're not okay with Russia doing that to Ukraine. I'm just saying, it's just what it looks like to me. But then they get all biblical, like, well, it was the land of the Israelites. I don't know much about that. But if we're gonna stick to facts, these are the facts that I see. I'm an uninformed motherfucker, so it is what it is. But I just look at it like that.
I mean, Russia. There's nothing good about what Russia's doing, attacking a sovereign nation.
I mean, the same way. Palestine. I mean, Palestine used to be its own country, right? Up until then, all the Israelis came in and they were like, you know what? We're declaring ourselves our own state. And Palestinians, y'all need to keep moving now. And then they stake their fucking land. I'm not taking sides on either way. I'm just going by what I see. You know what I mean? And
it really relates down to back to World War II when all the stuff was divided, and I think they asked Eisenhower why he voted for Israel to be a state. And he said, based off the Bible, he said, you bless Israel, you'll be blessed. And he wanted to bless it for America. And so
the real reason that we voted for that shit to be a state or, its own sovereign nation is so that we have a place to stage from to watch the rest of the Middle East. America being America.
Yeah, I mean, but we're like the U.S. is founded on Christianity, and so
it is Judeo-Christian values.
They gotta, Jesus was a Jew, and they believe in it.
Right. So with that, what I'm gonna say is, for those that are listening right now, check it out. Send me your understanding of it, where we're wrong, where we're right, what you feel about it. I would love to hear what y'all got to say. Send it to onthegunline@gmail.com, or you can go ahead and put it in the comments in the YouTube, or email me. Those are the places, or however you want to get at me. But the best way is onthegunline@gmail.com. I would love to read your responses. Frank, as always, it's a pleasure having you on here, brother. And I would love to go again, but unfortunately, I have to wait 10 minutes and it fucks up the flow, and I got shit I got to take care of, and I know you do too. So thanks a lot, brother, as always being on here, always being a supporter for the On the Gunline podcast.
Yeah. Let's set this up so we can talk about it more. I want to hear from more people.
Yeah, dude. So please, y'all.
I just think it's going to lead to a bigger war eventually. And then,
this is World War III.
Is that the end of time? I don't know.
Bro, I mean, you got to look at it like this. You got China, Iran, Russia, and then Iran is going to link up with all the other fucking Muslims. Yeah. And then you're going to have us. It's going to be another holy war per se, because I hate the fact that they mesh up all the Muslims as if they're all bad people. You know what I'm saying? Like the Hamas thing. And it's shitty what's going on. But at the end of the day, we'll see how it plays out, man. It could be
they basically, I don't feel bad for them because they got to eliminate the threat, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah. All right, then, Frank, I appreciate you, brother. You have yourself a good evening and rest up, and hopefully we'll get some fucking responses to this shit. All right, brother?
All right. Take it easy, brother.
All right, you too. Good to see you again, and you be easy out there. Stay safe, brother.
You too.
All right, thanks a lot. Rounds complete. End the mission and gunline out. March order, y'all. Deuces.